Very good afternoon, and quite like the previous session, the significance of artificial intelligence from there, the cost of customer acquisition to cut over to human intelligence is what we will talk about at probably half the cost of acquisition. Are you guys there still? Yeah, all right. Recently, in a Reserve Bank Innovation Hub workshop, BCG presented that world over, the digital savvy segment is kind of saturated and is fast saturating. The 10%, 12% of the digital savvy greedy segment, as I would call it, DSG, digitized. The 90% of the marginalized, subsidized Bharat at least gets left out for assisted onboarding onto the digital platform. And the analogy is that if you have to fly up to the 22nd floor in your building, you have to take the elevator from the ground floor. So if you have to go digital, it has to be phygital, from physical assistance to. In a presentation to Ministry of Electronics, the media agency was arguing about doing advertisement online. And the minister there was saying that I need to take online those people who are reading the newspaper. So I need to first print the ad of digitization in the newspaper. What we are going to talk about today is bridging the digital divide between India and Bharat and connecting the brands to the last mile. We all know that Indian economy, the digital economy at least will multifold multiply from here on, be it banking, commerce, payment, insurance, credit, investments, mutual fund, everything is a 9x, 10x, 12x, and so on. We know that 65% of the population lives in Bharat, the 35% of privileged we in urban centers and tier 2 maybe still, but mass Bharat is in, 65% is in the tier 2 and beyond of the country. There is a increasing digitization and urbanization that is any which way is happening, and you know that tier 2 plus what it is today, India, will multiply in 2030, will further augment by 2047. So much so that the urbanization in the form of creating up to 60 new cities will be witnessed, and it is fast progressing towards that direction with smart cities coming over as well. What is interesting, unfortunately, is that the digital infrastructure is broken. So how you see that the population from 1.4 billion to the people who use UPI or the internet are lesser in the funnel. And likewise, the banking infrastructure, be it of branches or payments at ATMs, all of those are quite sparse in India compared to the other developing or developed economies. What is more interesting is that there is this 10%, 14% digital savvy segment where all the big tech is concentrated and struggling, fighting for the same set of customers we were just talking about. Whom do you throw the money on at Meta or on Google and so on? Extra burn, and then you spray and pray that these customers will come, and welcome Tata Neo coming in, Jio coming in, Adani wanting to coming into the same segment of the 10-14% of the super digitized premium segment which goes to the airports and books those tickets. But the remaining mass Bharat, the glass is not half empty, it is actually empty. The whole opportunity of multiplier, the doubling of the economy into trillions is actually awaiting on that side of the spectrum. Like I said, the above strata is too infiltrated with all the big techs globally, working into with all the money in the urban center. But what is left along is the Gupta General Store, the Kirana store, 60 lakh of them, which have their own set of human intelligence. For example, Gupta ji's son is wanting a job, Sharma ji's son is still to study and he needs a home loan, and so on. Or there is an emergency and who needs what kind of assistance. So the glass is empty mostly. There clearly is opportunity for every segment that is listed over here. And you can actually call out that the concentration of all these companies for the valuation that they command into about adding up to 80 trillion already are all of them focused in urban center. Be it influencers, education, cross-border wealth management, the neo-banking, etc. All of this is concentrated amongst people in this room and many more rooms in many more towns in the urban center. And there is a huge, huge opportunity for all of this 10% consumed segment into the 90% of the Bharat, which is what actually we say that beyond the 10% TAM SAM SOM, the 90% of the TAM SAM SOM is in our influence with the 1.2 million retail touch points that Paynearby works with. These are trusted, tested, technically trained financial services outlets, the mom and pop stores where you go and withdraw money, deposit money. Not you, the mass Bharat does that, and processes about 1 trillion INR every year is what the outlet is about. Specifically dotted to every corner, minus the Nexal infiltrated areas maybe or certain border areas, we reach about to 92% of the mass Bharat. And the endeavor is to take the high end of technologies in granularized, sachetized manner and universalize it to the mass Bharat through an assisted retail touch point. The interesting part of this program is that we haven't had to spend money in marketing and spray and pray. We actually went and onboarded a merchant. Merchant earns money from the transactions. So it's a self-propelling dynamo engine. And likewise, when we partner with a few more people, I'll just talk about, the bit is that you don't spray and pray. You actually get to pay when your transactions are consummated on the platform. Oh, the pointer has to be on this side. So, like I said, you are just one API away from the next 1 billion citizens. The entire Bharat stack, India stack is plugged in. We have harnessed it at the back of our palm. The integrations with the multiple banks for payment rails, with the insurers, with the investors, with the Aadhaar modules, with account aggregator on Oken framework or the ONDC that is next. All of that has been wired into the framework. And the partner just needs to plug in one API interface to reach the mass Bharat at one shot. That's the power of reaching 1 billion citizens. We already are working with so many fortunate brands in some form or the other. Either we collect their money or we sell their modules. We do assisted commerce or we do sachetized insurance dispensation. We do telemedicine, we do sachetized mutual fund investments, or 2,000 crore of every month in EMI collection from 72 NBFC partners for that matter. Or like I said, the assisted commerce by 43 e-commerce companies bundled into one single interface, कि आपकी दुकान पर सब कुछ मिलता है. So there was this ad by Fog, क्या चल रहा है? Fog चल रहा है. So the theme here is क्या मिलता है? सब कुछ मिलता है. Because the पूरा गोदाम आपका पीछे Amazon के पास है. The entire interface is what you are. You don't need to have capital. You don't need to have stocking godowns. All of that is with the e-commerce companies, and you are there, the front end, the trusted front end, if I may, to reach the mass Bharat. And we bypass the hurdles of broken distribution, broken infrastructure, high cost of acquisition, less aware customer segment, heterogeneous crowds in certain pockets, and large cohorts of people who are media dark, or at least we don't know they're watching Ullu, TikTok, Hoichoi, or I don't know what not. So the spray and pray actually has now expanded. You have to spray really, really lot beyond the 10% of India if you have to go that route. So that I'll skip. Effectively, this is the offline internet of Bharat, if I may sum up to say, because with a government program, it brings a lot of governance on the platform. And through assisted mode, when you dispense, you also dispense trust of the government, trust of the sovereign trust of the banks, the technical training modules that people are able to subscribe to, the magazines that people are able to access, the advertisements that one can do for the media agency, or for that matter, we are working with partners to see if we can help them download the apps. Because every region needs a local news app, a good music app, a health app, and so on. So beyond trying to attempt to reach digital spray that you would do, you actually can come to the Gupta General Store and say, 2 kilo aloo, 1 kilo pyaj, और इस महीने के लिए मेरा Hotstar activate कर देना. So as simple as you are paying a $50 for a month program, or buy a bike insurance for $800. So it's just around the corner, available to you. There are 4 interfaces that we have strategically carved out, with first being the Paynearby module, which is 1.2 million Kirana stores. Alongside, we relayed Digital Nari program with Reserve Bank Innovation Hub, which is a large belief that we all have that women are the GDP reserve of the nation, 50% of that at it. And Nirbhik Hai Tu Nar Hai is a war cry with Niti Aayog, with MeitY that we run. And there is a program where women are subscribing to this program to become self-entrepreneurs. Of course, there are customized modules which are being plugged in for them, like Lakshmi is a mutual fund for women, and then there are similar other modules that we are calibrating and choosing and putting in the Digital Nari. The third is the Neo Dukan, which was unveiled by Retail Association of India, Retail Sector Skill Council, and NPCI. It is a merchant module enabler for the 10 shops on the left and 10 on the right. So the million retailers that we run into the hinterlands of Bharat are digitally savvy neural network gig partners. And if you infuse a task to them, they can execute it on both sides of their shops. So that's the strength. Of course, the fourth one is the Sathi. The whole idea of coming here is to invite you to Chalo Bharat. So, Uttishta Bharata and Chaliye Mere Saath Bharat. Whoever wants to, we are available, and we can partner, co-create modules, pin code by pin code, lane by lane, state by state, or district for that matter. And small pilots to large scale is what we are already working with many brands. Thank you so much for your patience hearing. Thanks a lot.